No one could have predicted the outcome for the Broncos this season after signing Russell Wilson. They're averaging just 15.5 points per game this season, the worst in the NFL. They have scored 20 points just 4 times this season, which is also fewest in the league. Matt?
JR coach Herm Edwards with us, Damian Woody hanging out with us all afternoon. I was sitting there thinking about when's the last time we saw one and dones in the NFL? We saw Urban Meyer last year, completely different reasons. Ironically enough, Steve Wilkes, Arizona Cardinals, when he was the head coach, he was one and done. And look what he's doing with the Panthers this year. But Damian, I'll start with you. Your reaction to this move by the Broncos before the season starts to get rid of Hackett?
Well, I'm not shocked at all. I mean, you look at the way, number one thing is he's an offensive guy, comes from, his offensive background. That's his whole thing in dealing with quarterbacks. We saw, his work up in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. And when you look at the body of work that Russell Wilson put together, it's been, quite honestly, it's been a dumpster fire with the Denver Broncos. And then, everything kind of came to a head yesterday against the game against the Los Angeles Rams, where obviously you saw this championship level defense completely the dam just broke on the Denver Broncos. The defense gave up 51 points, whatever it is. Yeah. You saw fights on the sideline, guys going after each other. And when an organization looks down upon that, they look at, well, the coach doesn't have control over the team anymore. And then the Broncos made the subsequent move of removing the head coach.
Yeah, the expectations here were very high, and Damian hit it right on the head. I think when you watched him yesterday, the dam finally broke with this defense. It is a top 5 defense, and when you keep asking them to go out there and hold the dam, it finally busted, right? And their ability not to score points has been a problem all season for them. They acquire Russell Wilson with a lot of accolades, a guy that was a very good quarterback in Seattle. They bring Nathaniel Hackett in, feeling that, he had tutored and mentored, obviously, Aaron Rodgers, and they just felt like this was a team ready to go. And what you've witnessed the last month has been very disappointing. And I think as you watch them, they've gotten worse. They haven't gotten better, especially on the offensive side of it. And when you ask your defense to continue to go out there, when you turn the ball over, it's about to break. And this defense finally broke yesterday. It was a shame to watch it unfold. I watched it, and it was like you could just tell they had no more energy. They were done.
I've got a 2-part follow-up. And Herman, I want to start with you because you've been a successful NFL head coach. And then Damian, I want you to follow up with what he says. Herm, as a head coach, do you know the moment, or are you willing to admit when a coach is a head coach that you've lost the locker room?
You have a feeling when your voice becomes hollow. You get no life in your football team, and this is where the leadership from the locker room has to come in. And when you pay a quarterback as much as you paid Russell Wilson, he has to assume some of that responsibility as well. We can put it all on the coach. It's always easier to fire the coach than the player, and that's part of it. You know that when you become a head coach. But here again, it's on the players as well. And any locker room and any good football team is run by the players. The coach gives them direction, but the players generally run the locker room and they lead it, right? It's coach led, but you feed the players information. So, this is a situation now where you got to let the coach go. You paid too much money for Russell Wilson to let him go. Now you got to figure out who's coming in there to try to take over this thing, because right now it's a mess.
Yeah, just to piggyback off of what Herm said, listen, when the players stop believing, you're done. It's essentially you're done. Yeah, and we saw that yesterday with the Denver Broncos. Again, all you got to do is point to the defense. That defense has been playing championship level ball, and against the Los Angeles Rams. Think of all the injuries and everything. The Los Angeles Rams.
And a 2-week starter in Baker.
A 2-week starter in Baker, and they give up 51 points.
Stunning.
It's just stunning. And again, when you see guys fighting on the sideline and all those type of things, that's when you know.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.